There we go. All right, whenever you're ready.
All right, let's go, you guys. Week 17. Week 17 in the National Football League featuring World of Matchups. Dexter Reed, Las Vegas, Nevada. On the other side, my A1 from day one, co-founder and producer extraordinaire, Mr. Spencer the Wiz. What's up, Spence?
What's going on? Yeah, coming into the last couple of weeks here, a lot of exciting stuff. This is the good stuff right here.
Yeah, it really is the good stuff. It's kind of sad at the same time, the playoffs, but then it's over. You know what I mean? And there's this like dead period where it's just like you're just waiting for the draft, and especially if your team doesn't win anything, it just blows. And my team sucks right now, but we'll get to them in a minute. All right, let's start with the Saturday slate. Detroit Lions, they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Cowboys -6. This has the potential to shoot out, and this has the potential to be probably one of the 5 best games of the year. This is a tough one because I told everybody last week, and I said it with my chest, that there was no way that the Dallas Cowboys were going to lose to Miami. And sure, if you bet money on Miami, you pushed, so it's not like you won. But I thought Dallas was really going to win the game out, and they didn't. They didn't necessarily play poorly, but they didn't necessarily play great either. And they're staring down the barrel of a 3-game losing streak, just like the Philadelphians just went through, just like the San Francisco 49ers went through earlier. In comes Detroit, man, and boy, they're puffing out their chest. They really are. And I think Detroit is going to have a hard day here. I'm going to go out on a limb because everybody and their mother is going to take the Lions here because 6 is just too much. But this is what I know about the Dallas Cowboys in their building, facing a really bad spot to be in going into the playoffs. They're going to play hard here. My natural inclination would be to take the Lions plus a 6. You know how much I love the Lions. I love the Lions all year. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball here. I don't. And if they can't run the ball, you get a different Jared Goff. Now, Dan Campbell will take chances, but something tells me that too many people are going to love the Lions. Too many people are going to even love the Lions money line. And I think the Cowboys come out and mob here. They cannot afford to go down 3 straight in a row. And so I'm going to take the Cowboys. I'm not going to take them with a lot of confidence, but something tells me in their building what they have done all year is what they're going to continue to do. And I really want to think that the Lions are ready to take that next step to being as good as the Eagles, the Cowboys, maybe even the 49ers. I'm just not so sure here.
Yeah.
David Montgomery struggling here. They're going to have a absolute, I mean, I don't know. I see the Dallas Cowboys really having a day here tonight. And then what should be a really entertaining game. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. And I also wanted to say, man, Saturday Night Football is so good. Like NFL football, I should say. You know, everyone watches college football normally, but man, I've enjoyed these Saturday night slates. It just makes your weekend so good, you know, especially when they have a full, 3 games that lead into each other. That's some really good stuff. So Saturday Night Football, I'm all for it. Like, I feel like maybe I'm wrong. I could be dead wrong, but I don't remember there being this many Saturday night games like last year. I know it happened last year, but I think it was like only 1 week. You know, it's like 3 weeks in a row we've had Saturday football.
That's the Goodell effect.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a really tough game to call. I mean, I don't feel strongly either way. I mean, I feel like you could tease the Lions and lose, or you could take the Lions money line and win. Like, I think both of those things are a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, the Cowboys looked unstoppable for a while, and now they don't. I mean, no team has taken a strong lead in the NFL this year, like, at all. Like, you know, the 49ers looked like they couldn't lose, and then they looked terrible against the Ravens. That's just the National Football League for you. It's a week-to-week, league, obviously. But I don't know. I'm gonna take the. Uh, I don't know. I just this winning streak at home for the Cowboys. I feel like is almost like a curse at this point. I mean, obviously not as of recent. They haven't lost there, but I mean that's just the one thing everybody's gonna talk about for the Cowboys, and they do every single show. Cowboys can't lose at home, and I could just see like a big post-game press conference, like as they're leaving the field, or just seeing Dan Campbell look like he's on steroids, like punching holes in the wall because they just beat the Cowboys, in Dallas when nobody thinks that they can. I'm gonna take the Lions, just like you. I don't have a ton of confidence at all in this, but it'll be an entertaining game. It's definitely one of the best games of the season, which I probably would not have told you going into the season that like this is a game you'd have to circle on your calendar.
I don't know. I see Goff running for his life tonight, and I really
Very
don't want
possible.
to. I really don't want to. I got him standing in a fantasy championship. I really don't want to, but I mean, I could definitely see them playing from behind all game long.
I have
can.
just speaking of the whole quarterback situation. I'm in the fantasy finals in one of my leagues, and I had Russell Wilson out. My opponent had Nick Mullins out, right? And then he put in Trevor Lawrence out.
Out.
So I picked up every quarterback in my league that is starting this week. My bench is full of quarterbacks. I tried to steal them all away.
That's
I have
what
like
you have
5
to do.
quarterbacks to choose from for the fantasy finals, and he's got like slim pickings, man.
That's what you have to do, man. It's the chess match of what it's going to take to win.
Yeah.
All right. New Year's Eve. Let's get it popping. Miami Dolphins head to Baltimore to take on the ruthless Ravens. Ravens coming off an outstanding win in San Francisco. They're minus 3.5 at home. Over under 46.5. I talked a lot about Miami last week, and they showed up, so I really have a hard time believing that they're not going to show up again. But here's what I know. The secondary in the Baltimore backfield is really in bad shape. They got a lot of injuries coming into this game. This is a tough matchup for Tua. Man. No Jalen Waddle. They're going to double Tyreek. Not that it matters, but they're going to try. I mean, the bottom line is this is going to be a game of the lines. Whose offensive line can dominate and whose defensive line can dominate? If Miami can get any push at all, I think they'll stay in this game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I don't trust Miami's defense. They play different on the road than they play at home. I've bet against the Ravens the last 2 weeks, and I've lost both times, so I'm jumping on the train. I'm going to say Ravens minus 3.5. I'm not going to say it with a lot of confidence. Lamar has been very good. They've run the ball at a high level. They're home. I mean, what more else is really there to say? Not 100% Tyreek, no Waddle. Ashawn with the toe, even though he's going to play. I mean, Miami is coming off that high, that emotional victory versus a good Cowboys team. This is let down city here in the first game of the Sunday slate. Take the Ravens with confidence and feel good about it. Minus 3.5 is the play.
I mean, besides the fact that like half the Dolphins team seems to be falling off here at the end on the injury report, I mean, Jalen Waddle is just so huge. I mean, in reality, it's been Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Raheem Mostert, and Achane like this entire season. I feel like I never see another Dolphins player get a catch. Like, it just doesn't seem to happen. Now, when he's gone, obviously you have to have someone kind of run those same routes, but no one else has the kind of skill set that Jalen Waddle is. He's like a missile out there. I mean, it's only because he plays next to Tyreek Hill that he like isn't really known as, I mean, people know he's fast, but I mean, if he wasn't playing next to Tyreek Hill, they would think that he's, people would debate like who's faster. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Like who's the fastest receiver in the NFL? But it doesn't get featured because Tyreek Hill's on the other side of him. So I think it's huge. I mean, I think that is just, I'm just not the biggest Tua fan, I guess is what it really comes down to. I think he's like, I don't think he's terrible, but I bet, I've talked about this all season. I think if the Dolphins had an opportunity to upgrade at the quarterback position, I think they would do it in a heartbeat. I don't think they have a super big loyalty to Tua because while he has great ball placement, his decision making sometimes can be like really rough. And that being said, the Ravens are liquid hot. They're not playing a division opponent, so as long as they're not playing anybody in their division, they seem to be fine. And although they are 12-3 and they just had a huge win against the 49ers, there's still something that I have reservations about them, like going into the playoffs this year.
Because
I
they
can't
never
even
win
really
in the
tell you why,
playoffs.
man.
They
Yeah,
never
I guess
win in the playoffs. Lamar's
they've
not a
done this
winner.
before.
They
Like
do this all the
something very
time.
similar. 11,
Mhm.
12 wins. What's the difference? You know what I mean? Like they've
Don't matter.
had these really big seasons and they just I don't know. We'll see. I mean, maybe it's different this year. I mean, they do seem like a really well-oiled machine, but I don't know. I think losing Keaton Mitchell, like the sting of that is going to hit when it needs it the most. But for the the purpose of this game, I feel pretty confident about the Ravens here. The last time these two teams played, if you remember, it was one of the best football games I have seen in a long time. Tua went nuts, with 400 yards. I remember something insane. They had a huge comeback in the fourth quarter, but I don't see that happening again because Jalen
Me
Waddle's not
either.
playing.
Yeah, they got no Waddle, and I mean that's really huge. I mean that's half your offense right
Yeah,
there.
it's like
for
what
being,
Jeff Wilson
offense.
Jr. as the third string guy, and it's not
No,
good.
I mean, yeah, come on, dude. I mean, he's a humongous piece of that offense. You cannot just replace him with these ancillary pieces, the Wilsons or whoever other scrub guys they got out there, the Durham Smythes of the world. Come on, man. Let's be honest. That's not going to cut it. But what I do like here is authoring the first part of a 3-team tease, which hit last week, folks.
Yeah.
Which hit. I like teasing the Ravens to now getting points in their building. I just can't see a world where the Miami Dolphins win this game by more than a point if they do.
If you do a 3.5 point or 6.5, point teaser, you get +3 for the Ravens. I'll put that in the back of my mind.
We'll keep that warm. Put that in the oven for right now.
Yeah, I got to sit on that for a second.
Yeah, we'll sit on that and we'll see what else we come up with. Next, Tennessee Titans, they go to Houston to take on the Texans, who are getting back C.J. Stroud. Looks like Will Levis may play. Yeah. That's kind of on the table. I don't think it's going to matter. I think that to be able to split the 2 games Stroud was out with the amount of injuries that the Texans have show you the fortitude of this team. I mean, there's a lot of metal to this team, and D'Amico Ryans is definitely coach of the year. He has to be in the running. Him or Stefanski, it has to come down to. They've done a really nice job. They should mop the floor with the Titans. Titans are done. DeAndre Hopkins is nothing now. I mean, that's where wide receivers go to die. Ask Julio Jones. I mean, Derrick Henry has fallen apart faster than dollar store toilet paper. He's done. I mean, what do they have, dude? You know what I mean? What do they have? I mean, the Texans are a potential playoff team. I don't care that they've overachieved. They're a better team. Now, the 4 scares me. I think it should be more like 2.5, 3. But that's the C.J. Stroud effect. They should be able to run the ball against the Titans. Singletary should be okay. Nico Collins is okay. Noah Brown is okay. Dalton Schultz is okay. They've got weapons. It's just, will their defense hold up enough to put it on these guys? I mean, Will Levis hasn't shown me much recently. I know he came out like gangbusters, in his first game, but recently he's not shown me enough. So I'm going to take the Texans. I'm not going to take them with a whole lot of confidence, but I'm going to lay the 4. Over under is 43.5. Dude, the Titans just don't do anything for me, man. They don't move the needle at all. They don't galvanize me. There's nothing going on there in Tennessee at all. I mean, imagine being a Titan fan. What's your motivation? You know what I mean? I mean, you're looking at 2026, 2027. There's nothing happening. This is a game that, with C.J. Stroud back healthy, and he's been deemed healthy by the, team neurologist and independent other neurologists, put him on the field, let this boy spin. Texans -4 is a play.
I don't know. There's something in the pit of my stomach. I mean, there is nothing to play for, but they play hard for Mike Vrabel. I mean, they just really go for it. And that Titans-Seahawks game was a lot closer than a lot of people thought.
Shouldn't have been that close.
They
covered. They covered.
I know. That was part of our teaser.
I was
sweating, man.
I was sweating.
But Tennessee Titan plays until the clock hits 0. I mean, you saw that in the Dolphins game too. And it's a division opponent. They have the opportunity to really, really mess up the Texans' playoff odds here. The only reason I know that is because I'm following the Raiders' playoff scenarios, and they need the Texans to lose out. So that's just one of these things that I need. I want to happen. But I mean, I don't think it's way out of the realm of possibility that the Titans win this game. I know C.J. Stroud is back, so I mean that definitely makes things a lot more tough. But division games, It's the second time. The first time they played, I think it was really close. I could be wrong about that, but I kind of remember them playing a very close game the first time around the season. And I mean, if Will Levis doesn't play, I mean, Ryan Tannehill is just a quarterback that's just going to get you 20 points, and sometimes that's enough in these kind of close games. I'll take the +4. I feel like it could come down to a field goal at the last second here. It's another tough game to call, especially once you get towards the end of the season, man. It gets harder and harder to call these games for sure. But I like the Titans here. I think that they're going to play really, really hard because they want to screw their division opponent up in their playoff odds.
I could see it. I mean, one of two things happens here when you're out of contention. You play for pride or you just lay down.
Yeah, and Mike Vrabel doesn't let these guys lay down.
Yeah, Vrabel-led teams don't lay down. I don't know.
I wish he was my head coach, man.
Dude, awesome. I'd take him in a heartbeat, man. And Andy Reid, pack your bags. I love Mike Vrabel. I love coaches like him.
Yeah, Dan Campbell.
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, people forget about Mike Vrabel because of the record of this team. This team is
he was Dan Campbell before Dan Campbell was Dan Campbell. Yeah. Let's be honest. Yeah. Next. New England Patriots head to Buffalo and Orchard Park to take on the Bills. Bills -14. Wow. OU is 40.5. There's no universe in any. There's no way in any that I'm taking the Bills -14.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry. The Bills haven't covered 14 at home since Bruce Smith was on the team. Patriots all day +14. You saw what they did Sunday night versus Denver. That's another team that will not lay down. Even without their best defensive players, that's a game they should have won. They just faltered late, but they still covered. Dude, what has Josh Allen done to be favored by 14 at home to anyone? Tampa covered there. The Giants covered there. Both those games were bad calls that would have had those teams winning those games. The only blowout that they've had was versus Dallas. And I don't know, man. There's an argument to be had that Patriot defense is every bit as good as the Dallas defense. I'll die on that hill. Dallas's defense gets blown up a lot. Let's be honest. Let's just be honest for a second. I'm going to take the Patriots here. I'm not going to take them with a lot of confidence, but 14 is just too many points. I'm simply taking the Patriots here because 14 is too many points. Not because I like Bailey Zappi, none of that. But Zeke is still decent and can move the football. They moved the football on Sunday night. That's all you need to do is just move the football somewhat, kick a couple field goals. You're cashing this. I mean, 14 points versus a decent defense. Belichick is on his way out the door, man. They're going to play hard for him. They always do. They just don't have the talent on offense. I think the Patriots are a lock here +14. I don't trust the Bills anywhere.
I think this could be the first leg of our teaser here. Get +20 for the New England Patriots.
I love that.
Man, there's no way. I mean, I would be so shocked if the Patriots lost by 21 points.
I'll co-sign that.
Yeah,
Patriots +20. I'll co-sign that.
I don't think they're going to win this game in any possible way, but
they're not going to get blown out.
The Patriots play the Bills pretty close. I mean, there was that one playoff game, but that was like the entirety of America gave the energy to the Bills on that playoff game as like everyone in the country's like I don't even know, like resolution or just like for all those years, that was a very special occasion.
Division games are closer than people think. This is not Dallas going to Buffalo. Are
playing pretty good. The Buffalo Bills just played a horrible Chargers team and barely snuck
Barely won. They were 12.5-point favorites versus Easton Stick and should have lost the game. Guys, don't get gassed. Styles make fights. Don't be a prisoner of the moment, but don't also forget what just happened. This is a team that plays down to the level of their competition. I will take them +14, and I will co-author that first leg of that tease +20, and that is steak and lobster on New Year's Eve. Somebody pop the champagne, please.
Yeah, that's the play.
Next. Trap game. There's one every week. And I hit these trap games, Spencer. I hit these trap games. Y'all were so mad last week when Green Bay only won by 3. I told you all. And y'all probably laughed on the other side of your computer. And I'm telling you right now, going in the door, that when the Rams go to the Meadowlands to take on the Giants -6, that's another manhole waiting for you to fall in it, man. Giants got nothing to play for. but pride. But what you all don't understand, that big blue pride is real. It's like military pride. Those fans will all be out there in the freezing cold. I'm from New York. I've seen this a million times. They're going to be there. In flies the Rams from 3,000 miles away, clinging to their hopes of a playoff berth. And I'm here to tell you, it's going to get spoiled. This reminds me of when Green Bay went to the Meadowlands, and everyone was like, there's no way that Green Bay can lose to the Giants. The Giants stink. Tommy McNugget, what are you talking about? And what happened? In comes Tyrod Taylor, veteran, journeyman. They benched DeVito last week, which is the right move to make. And again, we'll talk about the fraudulent Eagles here in a minute, but that's another game that they almost blew. The Giants were in that game and could have won that game. If the Giants had a real quarterback, they would have won that game. I digress. Now, we're home. Tyrod Taylor almost beat the Buffalo Bills in Orchard Park off a horrible call. Waller is back. Taylor's got wheels. This is the time of year, every year you start to see this happen with the Giants. And you saw it happen last year with Isaiah Hodgins. All of a sudden, the kid's Jerry Rice. Dude, the Giants have wide receivers that are unused. The Wan'Dale Robinsons, the Isaiah Hodgins. You got Darren Waller. Now they bring in this new kid from Tennessee, Jalen Hyatt. They have weapons. Saquon Barkley is a weapon. He's a weapon. What have the Rams done? The Rams are a 3-man team. They're a 4-man team. Puka, Kupp, Stafford. I don't even know if I could throw Donald in there anymore. Kyron Williams. I mean, he's a one-man defense. If you hold 2 out of those 5 players down, the Giants will win this game. Forget covering, but I'm taking them here, and I'm taking them with confidence. This is a trap game like I've never seen one before, and I hit these trap games, and I know y'all all laugh. Oh, how are they going to stop that high-powered, Ram attack? You guys are nuts, man. You guys are nuts. You guys don't understand how football works. Home dogs pay dividends. The Giants +6 is the play.
Wow, this is tough. Well, I don't even know if Tyrod Taylor's going to finish this game, man. Every time he gets hit, it's like you got to hold your breath. It's crazy. But, yeah, I mean, what happened with Tommy DeVito is exactly what I thought would happen, dude. It's like, it wasn't, he became an influencer.
It's Jeremy Lin all over again. It's unsustainable. I mean, he's not Tommy Cutlet. He's Tommy McNugget.
With just like all of the
Italians got excited. That's all.
Like, they're making him do like podcast skits. It's like, golly, man, isn't this like football?
Showing up at pizzerias for $20,000. Get out of here.
Like he got upset about it, but I'm like, you didn't get that upset, man. You were participating. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you perpetuated this.
Mm-hmm.
You could have said no, man. You could have said no at any point for sure. You're the starting quarterback for the New York Giants. You know
who Tommy DeVito is? You remember the first guy Mike Tyson fought when he got out of prison? What was that guy's name? Peter McNeely. Hurricane Peter McNeely. Remember that guy? He came in and he went right out and was never heard from again. Did a couple commercials, got paid, and was never heard from again. That's who Tommy McNugget is. You'll never hear from this guy again after this year.
I don't think so. I mean, no one's gonna. It was just like a little thing, that's about it. Man, this game is hard to call. It really is. I don't really. I mean, Tyrod Taylor seems to give him the best chance to win, like, unironically. So I think that's a good thing. I mean, he didn't look great last week, but being thrown in there in a football game, that's just a terrible feeling. No matter like who you are.
At home,
couple field goals
in Indiana, in Philadelphia, to just be thrown in that condition and to still almost have had a chance to win. Spencer,
all right, I'm convinced, man. I'll take the Giants here. I mean,
I'll take them too, man, and I'll hold the L if they lose. But I'm not rolling with the Rams on the road. The last time the Rams went on the road, we both called them. Well, yeah. You called them, and they fell apart in Baltimore. Now, I know Baltimore's not New York, but something tells me that the Giants are going to play really hard here. They always play hard at home. They always play hard at home. I love the Giants this week. Next, San Francisco 49ers, minus 13.5. They head to Washington. Worst fan base, worst stadium, worst ownership, worst coaching staff. The 13.5 over-under is 49.5. I just want to put this out there right now. I will forever hate Brock Purdy. Forever. I will forever. I hate everything about Brock Purdy. Okay, I hate his family. I hate his friends. I hate his dog. I hate everything about the guy. I needed 5 points from Brock Purdy Sunday night. 5 points or Monday night. 5 points to go to the Super Bowl, and he couldn't give me 5 points. So we're dead. You're done. As soon as the season's over, I will trade you off my team in this dynasty league. You are dead to me. That being said, him and his injured neck should absolutely roll the Commanders. Okay, I'm tired of taking points versus the Niners because they cover. The Commanders have the worst secondary in the league. This is pretty much a slam dunk. Jacoby Brissett does not move the needle for me, even if he even plays, because now he's got an injured hamstring. It don't matter. Brissett, Howell, it doesn't matter. Okay, the Niners, I don't care. They're traveling 3,000 miles across the United States. I don't care. The Niners are on a mission. The Niners and the Ravens are on a mission to meet each other again in the Super Bowl. Okay, they just are. And I see this as just being a
NFL would love that.
Yeah, that's what they want, dude. I mean, there's this one thing that I saw. If you look at the colors of the whole presentation they have out there, the last like 4 or 5 of the colors have been the colors of the teams that have gone to the Super Bowl. And this year, the colors are purple and red. I mean, the NFL is scripted. We all know that. They're going to push these teams together again, especially after what happened last week with the Ravens. And I think the Niners win the Super Bowl. I'm going to call it right now. And I think that the Commanders are just the bug that happens to get stepped on the way. They're a horrible team. Eric Bieniemy will be gone. Ron Rivera will be fired. They are putrid. The secondary is going to get absolutely eviscerated by Debo, Ayuk, and Kittle, and there's not much more else to say. 13.5 could easily be 16 here, and I would still lay the points. I have spoken.
See, this is confusing. How is this 13.5, but that other game's 14 points? That Patriots-Bills game, I don't know. But in any case, I love this as the second leg of our teaser here. He teased down the 49ers. I mean, this should be just like a big-time revenge game for the Commanders. I mean, the Commanders, they know that their coach is getting fired. I mean, they played hard to come back in that Jets game last week. You have to give them credit there.
They screwed us. I love the Jets. How the Jets suck.
That was nuts, man. I mean, that was entertaining to watch, obviously, as a football fan, but I was shocked. But I cannot see that happening this week. I mean, the 49ers just got embarrassed on national television.
They're trying to put it to this team. Oh my God, they ain't going to take up. They're going to take off their belt. And
I have Debo and Christian McCaffrey in this game too. In my Super Bowl finals, man.
They're going to go crazy, bro. They're going to go crazy, dude. Commanders are going to get absolutely murdered.
What's the over-under in this game, too? It's got to be really high.
It's almost 50. It's 49.5.
Yeah, that's a lot, man.
Because you can throw on the Niners. That's their only weakness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's going to be points. I mean, I say tease down the Niners, but you can also tease down the under. I feel better about teasing down the Niners as the second
for sure.
leg.
100%. I hate over-unders are hard to predict, man.
Yeah.
Unless it's obvious.
Unless it's obvious. I'm going to co-sign that with you as leg number 2. Next. The Arizona Cardinals, they head to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles in their fraudulent secondary. Eagles minus 12. What did I tell you I was going to do? I'm going to keep doing this. See, like, you now have a 1 month of shows to look at where I've said the same thing and the same thing has happened. This has been a month now, guys. A month. If you're not listening by now, you must not like winning money. I don't know what else to tell you. The key to beating the Philadelphia Eagles is to go at their secondary. And now half of it is missing because Slate is going to not play. I mean, there's a 33-year-old corner. Dude, it's over. It's over. Okay? I say the same thing every single week like a broken record with no skips. And half of y'all don't want to listen because you still think the Philadelphia Eagles this year are the Philadelphia Eagles last year. And they're not. They're not. If they had a competent quarterback in New York, they would have won that game versus the Eagles. Guys, stop not listening to me about this. Just go look for yourself. Just watch the recaps of these games. When they lose, it's because they are getting thrown on. They're not getting run on, but their corners and their safeties are trash. They're trash. Now, Kyler Murray's been sick. James Conner's been more than serviceable. I think they're going to be in this game. I do. Something tells me Trey McBride's going to go he's going to go ham in this game. The middle of the field is his. He's going to own the middle of that field. And they got some nice ancillary players that will keep him in it. I don't know. I just don't trust Philadelphia's secondary, and I cannot bet them. I won't bet them, and I'm 4-0 betting against them in the last month. That's all you guys need to know. You guys do whatever you want with your money. 12 is a lot of points versus anyone. Now, I know the Cardinals stink, but even if they're playing from behind in this game, backdoor covers are covers. Backdoor points are points. Give me Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals all day, every day, twice on Sunday, and then you go eat a cheesesteak with that money that you win. You're welcome.
Yeah, this feels like a prank or something. I mean, after watching the way that they've played over the last month or so, and now they're gonna like blow a team out of nowhere. I don't buy it. I mean, that's just an insane amount of points right
Eagles
there.
are frauds.
I mean, I know the Cardinals aren't good, but man, I don't. Marquise Brown being out for the season, another season he ends on IR, by the way. Golly, man. I don't know if you gotta change your routines or something. I mean, I know nothing about being like a professional athlete, but golly, dude, that guy just cannot stay healthy. It's very frustrating because he's pretty good when he plays, you know. But I mean, on a side note, I really do like a little two-leg player prop for Trey McBride, catches and yards. I'll take both, dude. He's gonna eat them up. I mean,
bet all Trey McBride's overs, guys. Bet them all. He had a mid-game last week. He is ready to mob.
That guy's he's gonna go high next year in drafts, man. But yeah, there's no way I'm touching the Eagles minus anything over 10. I mean, for the rest of the season,
versus anyone.
They haven't proved that against nothing. I mean, they look falling apart. You know what I mean? It does not look good for them right now.
I watched that whole Giants game, bro. The Giants could have won that game. I'm sorry. The Giants could have won that game. You guys need to understand what I'm saying. I believe if Tyrod Taylor starts that whole game, the Giants win that game. Tommy DeVito is trash. He's a sideshow. I don't trust the Eagles anywhere. I don't know. You guys could do what you want with your money, but you have a body of work to look at here with World of Matchups. I've been saying it for the last 4 weeks. Spencer finally woke up and stopped betting the Eagles, and look what's happening. I'm telling you, they're falling apart in that secondary. This is a team that has no chance of winning a Super Bowl because they cannot stop the ball in the air. And this is a passing league.
Yeah.
Okay.
They lost C.J. Gardner and Marcus Epps, man. That was
huge,
bigger
losses.
than anyone could have ever predicted.
Dude, the mantra.
Marcus Epps is incredible.
He was good, man. Dude, the mantra throw for show and run for dough is dead. Okay? Now it is run for show, throw for dough. You have to be able to throw the ball to win a Super Bowl. Look at the last 4 Super Bowls. You have to do it, and they can't stop it. Nothing else needs to be said. You want to be mad at yourself for not listening. Next. The Saints head to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. Buccaneers minus 2.5. Wow. My valuable soldiers. My best bet last week. We're back. We're back. We are back. Me and the Buccaneers are back. I told everybody, and you guys won't listen to me. Jacksonville's fraudulent, horrible team, and they murdered that team. This game is for the division, and that reason and that reason only. I'm taking the Bucks at home. We're back to taking the Buccaneers at home minus 2.5. I'm taking it. I'm laying it, and I won't even be upset if it doesn't hit. But I'm going to take it because there is no universe that this Buccaneers team should be able to win this division when the Saints are supposed to be as good as they are, and they stink. Derek Carr stinks. The Buccaneer defense has been playing better. Now you can throw on the Bucks. You can throw on them. But there's no denying how valuable a soldier they have been on our tickets. There has been no other team this year that has been a more valuable soldier for our tickets than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Man, their ATS against the spread's got to be insane.
Dude, it's like 80%. It's insane. It's so high. They always come through for us. And now Baker's feeling good. They're talking about re-signing him. Look at Baker Mayfield's numbers this year, guys. He's got better numbers than Patrick Mahomes. He's got better numbers than Trevor Lawrence. He's having a fantastic year. Dude, comeback player of the year is not DeMar Hamlin.
No,
Comeback player of the
I
year.
was gonna say, man.
Comeback player of the year is Baker Mayfield. Put money on that, and if it doesn't come true, there's something wrong. He is having a renaissance season in Tampa Bay. Those wideouts are playing at a very high level. Rashad White is the new Alvin Kamara. Take this game with confidence. You know what, man? I'm doubling down. They are my best bet. 2 weeks in a row. The Saints are trash. Derek Carr is trash. Alvin Kamara is sick. The running backs are all hurt. Chris Olave's got a bum ankle. I don't trust anything that is happening in New Orleans, especially on the road. They're a completely different team. Honey Badger is washed. Marshawn Lattimore may not even play. Buccaneers all day, every day, twice on Sunday. And eat a poor boy with that money that you win. I have spoken.
I was gonna say that if DeMar, man, I don't know. It's so hard, but
DeMar Hamlin's done absolutely nothing this year.
Yeah, I mean, I know the guy's alive and he played football this year, which is
and
crazy,
I'm happy he's alive, but you need to do something to win the award.
I would say take it away. If he had the gall to just come out and say, like, I'm taking myself out of the running.
That's what he should do.
Player of the year.
That's what he should do.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's like not easy to say, but you know, like some people may like hate you for even saying that. Like, oh, come on, the guy died, and
it's undeniable what Baker.
But I don't know, man. I mean, the guy. I think if the guy really had the stones for it, I think he'd be like, you know what, I appreciate it. Like, well, first of all, it's like people only really care because of the betting aspect of it, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's also reality. I mean, the NFL has sponsorships with betting companies, so obviously on some level it's pretty encouraged. But I really do think that he should do that and be like, you know what, I appreciate it, but these guys are going out in the field and working really hard. I think it should be between Joe Flacco and Baker Mayfield, in my opinion, to end out the season. But that's a side note. That's just something I've been thinking about. Like, I kind of wish that he would do that. I was actually thinking a lot about the DeMar Hamlin situation, and like the NFL or him or his agent or something definitely got this guy like a social media team, and I wonder if he regrets it all. You know what I mean? Like, he's become like a corporate shill. I mean, I hate to say that, but
it's a sideshow.
Like I think, like, I bet you DeMar Hamlin wants to do nothing more than to play football, and it just that'll never happen ever again.
And he's not good at football. He's not good at football. If DeMar Hamlin didn't die on the field and get resuscitated, he would have been cut. Guys, these are just facts.
Yeah,
you can be all in your feelings about it if you want.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a reality.
Just dude, these are just world of matchups is about one thing and one thing only, and that's the facts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thankful the guy's alive. Obviously, I mean, that's crazy what happened, but this is just getting, I don't know. I feel like it's getting dragged on at this point. Anyways, Baker Mayfield's playing incredible. Like, it's fun to watch, man. Like, it's like genuinely like something that I tune in every week for, which is cool. I think he's finally moved past the whole underdog thing, and I think that has been maybe the most important part of his career. He is the quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know what I mean? He's not talking about, oh, I was, forgotten about. I was a walk-on in Oklahoma. No one thought I could do anything, in Cleveland. Like, all of those things. Like, he just rode on that forever and ever and ever and ever. And now finally it just feels like he wants to be a franchise quarterback for a franchise that seems to really want him and seems to be like kind of picking up on him. And I talked about in the beginning of the season that they won despite Baker Mayfield a little bit, but now they're winning because of him, man. This guy is making big time throws. It is captivating,
He's a top 10 quarterback right now.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool. It's fun to watch because these are the kind of guys you never suspect to ever do something like this. I mean, you write them off, like, I didn't think Baker Mayfield would ever make a run with the Buccaneers in that division, and they have just been liquid hot recently.
They're going to win the division and get in the playoffs.
The Saints turnover is going to be crazy. Derek Carr is going to get cut. Dennis Allen's going to get fired. Like, it's going to be crazy in the offseason for New Orleans.
Honey Badger's getting waived. I mean, they're done. They're done, dude. I just love the Buccaneers here. I think this is an absolute lock, and that's going to be my best bet. Next, my new valuable soldier, the Carolina Panthers. They head to Jacksonville to take on the hapless Jaguars. Jaguars -4. I'm taking the Panthers again. Why not? They hit for me the last 2 weeks, and they're going to hit for me again this week. Why? Because Trevor Lawrence is a bum, and he's out. In comes C.J. Beathard. They should have just been resting Trevor Lawrence this whole time. In comes CJ Beathard. They can't throw the ball on Carolina. You know what I mean? We know this. And who are they going to be throwing to? Christian Kirk is out. Evan Ingram has had a glorious opportunity to rise to the occasion. He's done absolutely nothing. Calvin Ridley is buns when we all thought he'd be the second coming of Jerry Rice. It wouldn't shock me if Carolina Panthers won this game. You got a little extra money to lay and feeling strong about something, or you want to take a chance about something? Carolina money line. It might just start becoming the thing where the light's going on for Bryce Young here. I don't know. But to almost win last week, to cover back-to-back weeks and win one of them, and then now you're up against a backup quarterback that doesn't move the needle versus anyone. The defense has not been that great in Jacksonville. They have underachieved. The whole Jacksonville Jaguars organization has underachieved this year. And I could see a world where they lose this game. OU is 36.5. I'm taking the Carolina Panthers, and I'm taking them with confidence. They are coming on. They are feeling good, and they know that they are making steps towards getting Bryce Young the help that he needs. No teams lose, man, one game. I told you guys last week. They'll lose no teams will just win one game. They'll win 3-4, games. And I could see that being the case where they're playing out the string here, and they're playing out strong. CJ Beathard is a gym teacher. Who are we kidding? I'm not taking the Jacksonville Jaguars minus points with him at the helm versus anyone. Carolina money line, Carolina +4 all day, every day. Let's go. Winner, chicken dinner,
nuts, man.
That's crazy.
There's no way CJ Beathard, whenever he started, his team's been favored. I refuse to believe that. That's
fuck out of here.
I would never, ever bet on CJ Beathard. But we've talked about this week in and week out, man. That Panthers defense is something else. They're
I'm trying to tell people, man. A lot of the things that we've said recently, especially, we may get clipped on some numbers here or there, but a lot of the specifics that we've said are all coming to pass. The Eagles secondary, the Panthers defense. Guys, this stuff's undeniable if you watch the film. Just look at the numbers.
I could see 2 interceptions for CJ Beathard. I'm going to make a little teaser ticket of Trey McBride catches and over interceptions for CJ Beathard. That's a nice little two-leg player prop right there.
Well, guys, when I'm doing the show by myself next week, it's because Spencer's on a yacht somewhere. Okay, I'm telling you right now.
I had a nice 3-player prop last week, man. Spencer's I love player props.
Bora next week, if he puts his life savings on that. I can't trust the Jacksonville Jaguars anywhere. They've had the most disappointing season of any NFL team this year. Next, Atlanta Falcons head to the Bears. The Bears. They take on the Chicago Bears. They come in kind of limping. Taylor Heineke is now the starter. Had a nice win last week. I told everybody he'd play a lot better. They give the ball to Bijan Robinson. I just kind of like the Arizona Cardinals last week. This is going to be the kind of same game, Spencer, here, where I think they're running into the wrong team, man. There's a lot of people that think the Bears should be trying to lose. There's no reason for them to lose. The only thing the Bears need to do is fire their head coach. That's it. They've got picks. They've got money. They
should have fired him the day they signed him.
They got sweat long term. Roshan Johnson is a baller. I was thinking about this morning when I was in the shower. I'm like, the future is bright for the Chicago Bears, but they better not blow it and get rid of Justin Fields. Justin Fields showed you last week who he is. If you give him any kind of help, dude, he is a franchise quarterback. I will never stop beating the drum on this, and you are a moron if you move off this guy. Build around him. Don't blow this up. Bears defense is getting better. If you just get all the defensive help you can with these picks and that money, the Bears are a playoff team next year, and they are absolutely going to murder the Falcons this week. I don't like the Falcons at all here at home. Secondary's better. They can't throw the ball. A gimpy backup quarterback. Stack the box versus Bijan Robinson. The needle does not move me at all for Arthur Smith and this team on the road. It's only 3. I think they win this game going away. It looks just like the same game you saw last week when they played the Arizona Cardinals. It is going to be a carbon copy of that this week. And if Kyler Murray could get murked, what do you think they're going to do to Taylor Heineke? Bears are a absolute lock at Soldier Field out in the cold this week versus a dome team. It's over.
I like that too. And Justin Fields is gone. I really, really think so.
It'll be the biggest mistake they ever make.
He might be a Raider.
Ever make.
He might be a Raider, Justin
That'd be good
Fields.
for you guys.
Champ Kelly was the assistant GM for the Bears when they drafted Justin Fields, and I don't think the asking price I mean, in my opinion, it's impossible. The asking price for Justin Fields can't be a first-round pick because everyone knows they have 2 first-round picks in the top 10. I mean, they just don't have any leverage because everyone knows if they're trading Justin Fields, they're taking a quarterback.
You keep
overall.
Fields and you get Marvin Harrison Jr., and then you get all defense. Darnell Mooney's gone.
This ownership group,
you got DJ Moore on one side, Harrison on the other side, Fields in the middle, Johnson in the backfield, Kmet to your left. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
the Bears
Caleb
are on
Williams
their way.
The starting quarterback for the
Caleb
Bears.
Williams is a freaking bum, prima donna baby. Get that guy out of here. Comparing that guy to my quarterback is just such blasphemy. That'll be the worst. That'll be the worst mistake ever if they get rid of Justin Fields. You guys heard it here first. Pin this show. Come back to it. It's all online, man. I gotta go chop and screw all these things I've been saying. I told you the same thing about CJ Stroud. Y'all all laughed. Look at y'all now. I'm telling you, I know quarterback play. Keep Justin Fields. The kid is electric. He needs help. He needs help. Give him help.
Yeah, I do not like the Falcons game. I don't like the Falcons in general. I mean, they don't play well away from home anyways. No. They're just such an interesting home team, man. I don't know what it is. Well, maybe it's a dome. I mean, I think it actually has like probably a lot to do with it. Like they're protected in the winter months, and that's just, you're at home. That's obviously big too. Yeah,
I worries me that Cole Kmet is banged up because he's a huge part of the Bears team. But I still think,
man, that connection is.
They got Tunyon. They got enough. I mean, the Falcons just don't do it for me, man. This is a Bears lock home win.
They're at home win. It's huge.
Next, the Raiders, who come off the biggest win of their season, come off probably the biggest win they've had in 2 years. They go to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. OU is 42.5. Colts -4. I'm telling you, going in the door, I love the Raiders here. I'm taking the Raiders. The only thing I don't love about the Raiders this week is the fact that they haven't benched AOC, and they should really have Jimmy G starting this game because you're wasting what's left of the prime of Devontae Adams. I mean, let's be honest. Again, yes, you beat up the Chiefs, and yes, you played well, but the Chiefs lost that game for the Chiefs. They put the ball on the ground. They turned the ball over. You got 14 points off that, and you only won by 6. If they play sound football, you'll probably lose that game. You have to be able to throw the ball in this league to win, and the corners of the Colts are not good. So you got Jacoby Myers on one side, Devontae Adams on another side. You know what I mean? Mayer's not going to play, but you got that other bum out there that can do enough. I mean, and Zamir White's going to go crazy. I don't see how this is 4 points. I love Raiders' money line. I think the Raiders win this game outright. I think the coaching matters. I say it all the time. I bang the drum. I will plant my flag on this. Coaching matters. It matters. And number one, please do not repeat the same mistake when you let go of Rich Bisaccia. You should be signing this guy to a contract deal right now and then go get a franchise quarterback. You have everything in place. You've turned your season around. You got rid of Marcus Peters. Guys are playing great. Jack Jones is a stud. You should beat this team going away. But your quarterback is buns, and you're hiding him. So why start him? You brought in Jimmy G for a reason. He should be playing. At this point, I mean, I never wish injury on anybody, but you almost hope the kid gets hurt so you can bring Jimmy G in because you're wasting Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams, I know, was going against a lockdown, shutdown, secondary last week, but 1 catch for 7 yards was unacceptable. I'm sorry. You have to be able to throw the ball, and it's indoors. The elements are cushy. Go get this win, Raiders. I can't even believe I'm saying this, but I mean, I'm here to make you guys money. And I really believe that the Raiders getting 4 is absolutely egregious versus Gardner Minshew and the Colts. Stop it. Michael Pittman got knocked into next month. Stop it. Stop it. Zach Moss is not playing. Stop it. Jonathan Taylor's thumb is broken. Stop it. Who are the Colts to be giving 4 points to anybody? This team just had the biggest win they've had in decades in the Kansas City Chiefs game. Take the Raiders with confidence, man. I'm telling you, the Raiders are going to roll this team.
Yeah, I hate predicting Raiders games, man. I feel like I'm cursing myself. I think
Zamir White, bet all Zamir White's overs. He is going to go nuts. Zamir White is single-handedly making it very easy for them to say goodbye to Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, you can't I mean, Josh Jacobs hasn't even looked good when he played this year.
Josh Jacobs is done as a Raider. I hope you guys heard what I just said.
They offered him $10 million a year. He should have taken that, man.
He is done as a Raider. You will never see Josh Jacobs wear a Raider uniform again in his life. It's over. And Zamir White's going to make sure of that this weekend.
Yeah, this whole Aiden O'Connell thing is very frustrating, man. He's not going to be the starting quarterback for the Raiders next year. I think it's obvious. And I will say this. I really do truly appreciate giving a guy an extra game when you I don't like to judge people based on 2 games. It's weird to say oh man, you only got 2 games to prove yourself to be the starting quarterback. And they stuck with him, and I think there really is a good coaching philosophy behind that. It's something that I believe too. Give this guy a chance, but it's been too many weeks, where it just hasn't been working at all. And I really do feel just put in, Jimmy G. He hasn't played since the coach has been fired. You know what I mean? It's not like everybody played bad when Josh McDaniels was the head coach. I can't point towards anybody. Everyone's coming on. You have a new offensive coordinator. Jimmy G never plays good in the beginning of the season. He always is kind of a guy who steps up later. At the very least, I wish they would just say that the leash is short or something along those lines to say, if Aiden O'Connell doesn't step up, man, we're going to go with Jimmy G.
Aiden O'Connell's a better Tommy McNugget without the flash, the pomp and
the
circumstance.
kid can make NFL throws. It's just not consistent enough. I mean, you got to be able to do it on a
the number one thing that the Raiders have to do in the offseason is get a franchise quarterback. And I will even go as far as saying this, and you're not going to like it. Okay, you're not going to like it at all. But I'm telling you straight up going in the door. If you need to include Max Crosby to do it, then you do it. You're never going to win with any of these retreads and these rookies. You have to go.
I say you make Eric Bieniemy the highest paid offensive coordinator in the league. I actually like Bo, but I think he has his limitations. I just don't think he's
limited. I've seen him play live.
I don't think he's ready to be an offensive coordinator, which is very easily an acceptable thing to say, by the way. I cannot imagine how hard it is to be an offensive coordinator. The guy has shown some creative play calling, but he just can't. He can't call a full game. I mean, that's
and you need
very
that.
obvious. But
I love the Raiders here.
I wouldn't want to get rid of him necessarily. I actually think he can develop. But I say you bring in Eric Bieniemy and you draft Jaden McDaniels where you're at in the first round, and I think that you can make it dude. Eric Bieniemy, man, is so underrated. I mean, I know he has been.
You see what happens to the Chiefs?
The Commanders. I mean, he made Sam Howell look like a starting quarterback for 15 weeks. I mean, it's unreal. I mean, look,
nobody holds their players accountable.
Man. I mean, everyone talks about why are the Chiefs have such offensive woes? It's dude,
Eric Bieniemy's gone.
Come on, what's the
I would take Eric Bieniemy over Andy Reid right now.
Dude,
and Chiefs Kingdom, you guys can come for me.
Juju Smith-Schuster, man, I'm telling you, that wasn't the guy that was the glue that held the Chiefs together. There's no way.
I agree. What's your pick?
I almost want to take the Colts so that I can be wrong, but I can't, man. The Raiders should win this game. They really should.
And I think that getting 4 points is just putting a pickle with the sandwich.
Yeah.
Next,
you can punch the Colts in the mouth, dude. It's happened multiple times this season.
Their corners are garbage, trash. Next, Steelers head to the Seahawks. Steelers are getting 3.5. Seahawks are home. Tricky game. Very tricky game. Kind of reminds me when the Steelers flew across the country to take on the Rams and they won that game. But I don't trust Mason Rudolph more than 1 week. I can't do it for 2 weeks. The Seahawks should get this victory. They played well enough last week to cover, and they blew it at the end. But they did hit the teaser for us. I just like the Seahawks. They're kind of banged up. You know what I mean? You're not sure if your running backs are 100% healthy. Everyone's sick. DK's got the back. Tyler Lockett has been so-so. But 3.5 is enough, I think, versus a Steelers team that needed to be at home last week to run up the score versus a Bengals team. 12th man is a real thing. Mason Rudolph's just a backup. I mean, I don't know, man. I just can't see their wide receivers going crazy like that on the road again. 3.5 sounds like a lot with the Seahawks, but I'm going to lay it, even though every time I lay points with them, they find a way to lose by a half a point or a point. But they're the better team trending in the area. They're both trending right now to hit the playoffs, so it's a tough game. But I like the Seahawks here, and I like them because I don't like Mason Rudolph. And if Devin Witherspoon is able to gut it out and play, that makes it even much more of a lock for me. Seahawks minus 3.5 at home is a play.
Yeah. What's the over-under in this game? This is a huge game.
40.5. 40.5.
I kind of like. I'm interested in the. I'm not on our teaser ticket, but I definitely there's going to be a ticket that I make that teases the under in this game. This is a wild card game for all intents and purposes, as far as I'm concerned. So this is an early playoff game. These teams are going to play really hard. I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be a tight game. I mean, yeah, Mason Rudolph looked really good last week, but there's always
at home
when a new quarterback comes in. You know what I mean? It's like you're not prepared for him. I mean, that's how hard it is to win in the NFL, man. I mean, like it's a game of inches. You know, you put a new quarterback in the mix that you're not ready for, you don't game plan for, and it's a division game too, man. These kind of things happen a lot. Yeah, this is tough. This is a really tough call. I mean, I don't really know where I fall on it.
But I see George Pickens going nuclear again. And
I think the Seahawks are a better team. I agree with you. So yeah. I wouldn't. I'm just going to take the team that I feel is better overall.
I agree, man. And if I know they're banged up, but they're questionable to play, not questionable to sit. Next, Kansas City Chiefs are home. They're minus 6.5 versus Cincinnati Bengals. There's no way in hell I'm taking Kansas City. It's just that simple. I just can't. I can't do it. I'm done. You know what I mean? I love my team, but I'm a realist, man. I'm not like a homer like a lot of these fans are. I'm not going to, it's like I refuse to sit back and just believe everything the government says because I know half the shit they're saying is they're lying. That's kind of how I feel about the Chiefs. The candy-coated responses, and I don't even listen to the press conferences anymore because how many times do you hear we're really close or we got to be better? I just get tired of it, man. You know what I mean? You have zero accountability. Pacheco's concussed, may or may not play. Edwards-Helaire is sick. I watched the entire game. Did Patrick Mahomes complete a pass of more than 15 yards? They don't throw downfield. No one can catch. I mean, it's just that type of a year. Andy Reid's playbook is stale. I mean, they have literally the game is passing Andy Reid by, man. That doesn't take away from his accolades and his accomplishments. But if you've watched every game this year like I have, I mean, that's just what's obvious. In come the Bengals, who have beaten the Chiefs in that building in a high-pressure spot before. Browning has played very well. You can run on Kansas City. Ask Zamir White. I mean, I expect Mixon to have a huge game on tomorrow. I really do. Travis Kelce is a shell of his former self. If he doesn't just run and get to the soft spot and turn around and catch it, he's not doing anything. And they're doubling him. There's no breakaway speed anymore. There's too many distractions. I love Cincinnati versus the Chiefs tomorrow, plus 6.5. I love it. No Jerick McKinnon. He's out. I mean, everyone's hurt. No, nothing has worked. How are you 6.5-point favorites at home when you have lost your life? You're about to lose 3 straight games at home versus not great teams. I can't do it. And I don't feel bad about it, man. Sometimes when it's going bad, you want it to get worse because when it gets worse, it forces the hand of somebody to actually really do something about it. I don't really want them to all of a sudden get better and everyone gets galvanized about this team to go to the playoffs because you're just going to go and get one and done and beat. Patrick Mahomes is beyond frustrated. The guy has to be seeing a therapist for how bad this has been this year. I can't do it. Even if they win, it won't be by more than 3. Cincinnati Bengals are an absolute lock tomorrow.
Yeah, they're going to play hard too because they had such a bad loss against the Steelers. I think they're going to be pissed. And
Jamar Chase may play. They're talking mad shit. They hate the Chiefs. And the Chiefs last week, they got talked to. And for the first time, man, they laid down. It was not a good
attitude of the Chiefs, man. It's just so off this year. It's like
it's just off, dude.
Or something.
It's just one of those years, man. I've seen it happen
Taylor
before.
Swift cam on the sidelines, dude. It's just
Super Bowl hangover, man.
They jumping on podcast.
They went to the well too many times, thinking that we could run it back again. And you called this, and I was wrong. You know what I mean? You said, like, Dex, this wide receiver room is C+ or worse, and you nailed that. I mean, you were absolutely right. Between the loss of Juju and the loss of Eric Bieniemy, this team has doomed itself. They felt themselves up too much in the offseason. and they rested on their laurels. They let Chris Jones screw them, and they couldn't get Hopkins, and you're now seeing it. They cannot throw the ball 10 yards.
Yeah.
How are you going to win?
I think they had this mentality that Patrick Mahomes can patch up anything.
You cannot.
We'll just have Patrick Mahomes figure it out. Doesn't matter who's out there, right? But that's
Tom
not
Brady
true.
needed Randy Moss. Peyton Manning needed Marvin Harrison.
Oh, I mean, I know Tom didn't play with any like super big Hall of Fame receivers, but he had
Julian
good
was
weapons.
Solid. If you give the Chiefs
Danny
a Julian
Amendola,
Edelman right now,
a lot of guys, man.
Come on, stop it! I don't want to hear this trash about Brady didn't have studs. Brady had Gronk. Stop it! Stop it! You take Gronk and Edelman away, Brady might have
Aaron Hernandez
one
too,
ring.
That was
may have a ring, maybe. Stop. The Chiefs are done, man. Stick a fork in them, and if they win, I'll be pleasantly surprised. But I'm not holding out any hope of them going to the playoffs and doing anything. The Eagles, the Chiefs, teams like that, they're going to be one and done this year, and I'm here for it because I want my team to get better. Because the relationship doesn't get better if there's always hope that we're going to be okay. No, stink, force their hand. Make them go get a number one wide receiver. Make them clean the whole wide receiver room. That's not going to happen if all of a sudden you go deep in the playoffs. I want them to lose. I know what I've seen, and I've had enough. Bengals money line. Next. God, I'm so frustrated. Chargers at the Broncos. Two bum teams. And I just got to say this before we even get started. 36.5 is the OU. Broncos minus 3.5. It's deplorable how you guys have done Russell Wilson in Denver. It's sickening.
It should be borderline
it's a felony.
There is a partnership with betting companies with the NFL, and they are benching a healthy Russell Wilson over money. Ridiculous. I don't know if they should be allowed to do this. I'm serious.
It's really sad. And you know what, man? People don't like Russ. He's corny, the whole future Ciara thing. I get all that, and maybe, him having the office and all that last year. Look, I like Russ. Okay? I get why, I get why other players do not like Russ. I get it. You know what I mean? But he has been a consummate professional. He doesn't get in trouble. He's a family man. And those values, those things matter to me. They matter to me. I get why, Beast Mode doesn't like him, and we don't know what happened, behind the scenes and a lot of these things in Seattle. We don't. But for what you gave up to get Russ, and now how you've done him, he've come back after 1-5 to be benched for Jarrett Stidham. It's Derek Carr all over again. It's Derek Carr. The Raiders set the precedent when they did this to Derek Carr, and so now the Denvers are like, well, they did it to Carr. We can just do it to Russ, and it's kind of different, but it's really not. And I think it's absolutely embarrassing, and I hope they just lose out from now on. They bring in Stidham, who they brought in for Carr. It was Stidham they brought in for Carr, right? The same guy. Jeez, man, you want to talk about an ex-boyfriend just being brought back in, and they expect to now go win. They should win this minus 3.5 because the Chargers are terrible. They're horrible. Easton Stick is not good. Keenan Allen is out. I mean, they have nobody. Austin Eckler is a shell of his former self. He looks old. He looks slow. He looks fat. I mean, what happened to these guys? They're just not good. And I really fully expect them to play well. This is a big Javonte Williams week. They're going to run the ball right at the Chargers. The Chargers are just not good, man. I mean, just don't have it. Offensive coordinators new, GMs new. I mean, coaches new. Studs are out. There's nothing left. Literally, there's just like this. There's just the base of the house. I mean, the chimney, everything's been burned to the ground. You can't expect them to now go in a hostile environment and win. And who knows, man? I mean, maybe there's secretly players that are happy this has happened to Russ. We don't know what's going on in the locker room. We don't. But what I do know is a lot of times when you see these type of moves made, it kind of galvanizes a team. And they know they blew it last week versus the New England Patriots. I expect Stidham to play well and them to have a big game. And I'm going to say they cover this 3.5. Chargers away from home are trash.
Yeah, I mean, on face value, it's like the Raiders situation, but Derek Carr was playing like ass, like complete buns.
He's terrible. Yeah,
he should have been like in the best case scenario. If you want to play it as pure as possible, he should have been the backup quarterback. He should have been benched. But he ended up being away from the team. That was his decision, by the way.
That was his decision.
I do
Which I
not like
don't,
Derek Carr, man.
I don't knock him for it. Derek Carr was a good soldier for the Raiders, and they did him dirty. Russell Wilson is a different situation because it's
He's
9
playing
years
well
versus
this
2
season.
years. Russell Wilson was playing well. I mean, go look at Russell Wilson's numbers. Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes have the same numbers, guys. They have the same numbers. Russell Wilson is even better than Mahomes this year.
Sean
I mean, it's
Payton
crazy
stinks,
how
man.
Mahomes has become like the measuring stick for everything. That's how
Yeah.
bad. That's how bad it's been. You know what I mean? Benching him is absolutely, it's pathetic.
Yeah,
And you know what?
a bad
I've always
decision.
hated Denver, and I hate them even more for doing this.
Don't
just
come to
can't take the
guys
Chargers.
about contract restructures 2 weeks before the end of the season.
After beating the Super Bowl champs, they came to him.
And also, like, man, this is not
That's
good,
horrible.
dude. It's the whole situation is so bad, and
And the league allows it.
he's like, dude, we're making a playoff push here. Why are you talking about my contract?
Yeah,
This is insane.
it's crazy. Squabbling,
So-
squabbling over a couple dollars. You're the one that made the trade. I hope Denver burns.
You gave him the contract, man. Like,
I hope
this
they crash and burn.
like, they didn't inherit the contract; they gave him the money.
Terrible. I know.
I like
hope
City.
we're-
I mean, he's pretty good.
Russ is going to land on his feet.
he's
Russ
nice.
might go to New York Jets. Russ is going to land on his feet. Russell Wilson still got a lot.
Oh
left.
yeah, someone's gonna pick him up for sure.
He got a lot
He's not
left.
free.
He'll go somewhere. I mean, he's
Probably
got
the
a lot
Falcons.
left.
He's gonna go to the Falcons.
It's going to happen. But I
'Cause
really
they
like
have
the
7
Broncos
wins.
here.
They're not going to be in the running for one of these rookie quarterbacks. He might go to the Falcons.
I can see it. Next, and finally, Packers at the Vikings. Packers are getting one from the Purple People leaders. This is a weird game, man. But it's how
Gross.
we're going to finish out. Yeah, it's going to be how we finish out Week 17. It's just gross. Nothing really galvanized me about either team. Packers are always injured. Christian Watson, has the health of a 90-year-old man. Jaden Reed should be back. They don't give Dobbs the ball. Aaron Jones is going to be the difference here in this game because he's finally healthy. Jaron Reed, the rookie, is going to start for the Vikings, minus Jordan Addison's probably on the other side of questionable. He may not play. Jay Jettas will be out there, but, can we have a moment of silence for TJ Hawkinson, please? MCL, ACL, he's done for the year. I like the Packers here, even though it's minus, they're going to be minus their top cover corner. That guy is a freaking idiot. Did you see what happened with that guy?
I saw that. It was so funny.
What's his name again?
Isn't it the
can't remember.
Alexander, right? Is that
Yeah, Jair Alexander. What a freaking idiot, man. So they suspend him for conduct detrimental to the team because he
walks out on the field when he
walks out on the field when he
all
thinks he
before
should have been a
time.
captain. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, man. But I do
That's
think
funny,
because
man.
we're dealing with we're dealing with a rookie quarterback here. And I tell you what, man, I've seen Jordan Love win these kind of games this year. So I'm going to give the edge to the Packers here. I think they just win it. No TJ Hawkinson is huge. That's humongous. They're
Especially
going to
for a
double
rookie,
Jay
man. We
Jettas.
don't have a safety.
Yeah, I mean,
all.
Jaron Reed has had, maybe like 10 reps this year. He got hurt, came back, played in the blowout. I mean, he's a rookie. Asking him to win this game under the lights is going to be a tough ask. I think Aaron Jones is the play here, man. Take all his overs. I think he goes crazy. And I think Jordan Love plays well. And I think you have a resounding Packer W here. I really like the Packers here.
I do.
I really do. Even without Jair
What's the
Alexander,
spread?
they're getting a point.
Oh man, you can tease us and get like 5 points out of
They're getting a
the
point.
Packers.
Jaron Hall, whatever his name is, that guy's a rookie. I mean,
No way.
It's
It's been a rotating door at quarterback too, dude.
Come on,
this
man.
is
They've started like
last
5
thing.
quarterbacks this year. I mean, that's another team that really needs to get their act together. I mean, at this point, man, if I'm Kirk Cousins, I'm asking for the freaking key to the safe because this team has proven that they can't win without him. I don't care how old Kirk Cousins is. I don't care how bad that injury is. You need to sign that man now because you have nothing going without him. I don't care who's on the field. None of those other guys could really get him the ball. There was flashes with Dobbs. He showed you his true colors. Mullins showed you his true colors. I mean, they have nothing outside of a real quarterback besides him. So Kirk Cousins is going to rob them once again. But I still think the Packers win this game going away, and I don't think it should be really problematic. Ty Chandler will have a big day on the ground because the Packers hemorrhage yards on the ground. But I think Jordan Love and Aaron Jones will be the difference makers. Let's talk 3-team tees. We hit last week. What do we have? We kept a couple things warm.
Yeah, we kept a couple things warm. So I'm very interested in this Packers game, but our two locks right now are teasing down the 49ers,
Absolute lock.
and we teased the Patriots plus 20.
Absolute
So
lock.
we got to come down to this last one here. I really like this Packers game, man. I
Yeah.
do.
Packers plus a touchdown.
Oh, God, man. There's no way, right? I mean, I would just.
Packers plus a touch. I think the Packers win the game outright. The Vikings, without T.J. Hawkinson and a rookie quarterback, all they have to do is keep Jay Jettas and Ty Chandler in front of them, and they should win this game going away. I'm going to co-author that unless you want to jump on something else.
No, I like that. I like that.
That's Arizona Cardinals plus 18. I like that a lot, too.
I don't know, man. I can't do it. The Cardinals are so bad.
They are bad, but so are the Eagles. Let's be honest. All right, yeah, let's do those three. That's going to be the 3-team teaser. We're going to throw the Packers in there and give them 7 points on the road to author the end of a 3-team teaser. Winner, winner, chicken dinner incoming. Write it down, folks. You've heard it here first. World of Matchups for Week 17. We'll be back closing out the regular season next week. And then it's on to the playoffs. Good luck to everybody in fantasy leagues. I've got 2 championships on the line and 1 more to cash out 3rd place. So I'm really kind of got a lot going on in my brain right now, but I am ready. Good luck to you, Spencer the Wiz. And we will see you guys next week. Enjoy the games.